Namaste yogis, my name is Nin. Welcome to my channel. Today's class is going to be a class for healing, and throughout the class we'll be referring to that theme. The class itself, of course, is something that anyone can try. We'll be doing a flowing sequence today, which means we'll be moving quite a bit with some salutations, and towards the end we're going to come down onto our mat and do some lower poses. For this class you won't need anything, but you might as ever want to take a block or two and have that nearby if you need to, or a book if you don't have blocks. And because we're doing quite a flowing type class, it would be useful probably to have a glass of water nearby just in case you need to take a break. With that said, get into some comfy clothes, come down onto your mat, and let's begin. We're going to begin this class in child's pose. So here, just bringing your seat towards your heels, stretching out your spine, letting your fingers web out in front of you, letting each one of your fingers touch the earth. Feel that pull through your armpits, and just keep on pushing back with your seat towards your heels. Sink into the mat. Take a breath. Inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out, and we're going to do an Ujjayi breath, which means we form a tunnel with our mouth and just breathe out. And that sort of sounds a bit like the ocean waves. Inhaling again through the nose. Pause, create a tunnel, and then create some sound coming out. And then pressing down into your knees, into your palms, we're going to come up into a cat-cow pose, and we're going to arch the spine, tuck the tailbone in, let the head hang, and then exhale, bring the belly down towards the mat, open up the chest, look up, and just check that your knees are under your hips. And then we're going to push back into a child's pose. Inhale again, we'll just repeat that, arching the spine, looking down, pulling our tailbone inward, let our head hang here. Exhale, come down, back into child's pose. Inhale one last time, arch the spine. Exhale, look up, bringing the belly down to the mat, open up the chest, and just pull back into a child's pose. And then we're going to come into another heart opening pose. So here I'd like you to come up onto your knees, and we come into our puppy pose. So have the hips above the knees, and then walk forward, bringing your chest down to the mat, opening up your heart, opening up to the possibility of healing and receiving positive healing energy. Just press down to the earth, forget all the worries you have just for this moment in time. And if you like, bring your palms together into Anjali Mudra, bringing your hands over your head, webbing your fingers, and just let that stretch intensify through your armpits. Just making sure you kiss the mat with your forehead. And this is our puppy pose. Take 3 more breaths here. Bringing your palms now onto the mat, and slowly walking up, just back into tabletop. Maybe round the spine one way, do some circles, then going back the other way. And then bending your elbows, slowly come down to our mat with our stomach, chest, chin, untuck the toes, and push up into a cobra pose. And this feels really good here, it does for me anyway, so maybe sway from left to right. Just feeling, massaging your lower spine here. And then come down to the mat again, flat on the floor. And picking up your right leg, bring it towards your bum. Grab hold with your right hand and stretch into your quad here. Receiving again your breath into your body. Visualizing every time you breathe in a white light going through to an area of tension and unstressing that area. Take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Letting go of your right foot and then take it to the other side. So lifting up your left foot now towards your seat and grabbing hold with your left palm towards your left butt cheek. And then you can put your head down onto the mat to rest. Take 2 more breaths here. Slowly letting go of your left foot. Come back down to the mat. Come back into tabletop. Heading back into child's pose. Stretching out, and then bring your seated area up to the sky, tuck the toes under. We'll take our first downward facing dog. So we just move this block away, and you should form a sort of upside down V here, pressing in with your palms, letting your calves, maybe pedaling out your feet if you need to, and let your head hang neutrally. Pressing up to the ceiling with your seat. Just stay here for a moment, and then I'd like you to lift up with your right leg first, up to the ceiling, and then, if you can, maybe bending your right knee and opening up the hips to the side here. Just staying here for a breath or 2. And then slowly and mindfully bring your knee down to the mat if you need to, your right knee, and we'll come into a high lunge. So bringing your right foot in between your palms, and maybe with your left foot, just send it out diagonally to support you. And then slowly coming up, bringing your torso upwards, making sure that your right knee is above your right ankle, and pressing down through the hips here. Most important is that you've got your balance. Whoop. And then lifting up with your palms, bending your back, and we'll come into a crescent high lunge. So here is really good. Feeling that healing energy going through your spine, vertebra by vertebra, letting yourself bend out backwards, opening up your armpits. Exhale, beautiful. And then bringing our palms down beside our right foot. And we'll step forward into a forward fold here. So you might want to micro bend the knees here. And maybe hugging your elbows and just swaying from side to side. Just give yourself a hug. And again, being kind to yourself is all part of the healing process. So just hold on to yourself here. And just look towards things in your life here that bring beauty and joy, and try and focus on those things for this moment. Inhale, bringing the palms to the shins. Look out in front of you, straight back. Exhale down to the mat. And then slowly, slowly does it with control, coming up into our mountain pose. Just check in with yourself here. Make sure you take your time. Are your feet under your hips? Are your shoulder blades coming away from your ears? And just picture a string coming up through your crown towards the ceiling, straightening up your spine. Check in. Is your head above your heart and your heart above your pelvis? And then maybe look down to your feet. Are they hip width apart? And then opening up your hands towards the front of you. So that again, you're receiving beauty, healing energy and light. Inhale, bringing the palms up above you. Exhale, take a sun salutation. So here, bringing your palms down to the earth. Let your head hang just for a moment. Inhale, palms up to your shins, straighten up your back. Exhale, down to the mat, palms down, stabilizing you here, and then jump or hop or walk into a plank pose. So here, just straightening up your core, bring your bum down. We don't want to see a plank like this. Or if you need to, bring your knees to the mat. And then slowly bending your elbows in towards your ribs. And then stomach, chest, chin down to the mat. And then coming up into our cobra pose. And again, just stay here. If you like, you might want to come up into an upward dog. So that's when you lift your thighs up and press down. Exhale now, bring your knees down to the mat. Come back into a child's pose. Stretching out here, just take a moment, find your center. Maybe take a sip of water here. And then begin to bring your seated area up to the ceiling, tucking toes under, and come into a downward facing dog. And just pedal out with your feet here. Let your head hang, and your biceps should be in line with your ears. And then I'd like you to lift your left foot off the mat into a three-legged dog. And then bending your left leg out to the side, opening up your hips here. Just open it up. Breathe in twice into this. Inhale, exhale, beautiful. And then slowly bring your knee in towards your chest and just bringing your foot in between your palms. Checking in here, and like if you need to here, bringing your foot out to the side, bending your left knee and coming up with our torso straight up. Just checking in again. Is the pressure right here? Pressing down through the hips. Lifting up with your palms. And then bending your spine backwards into a crescent lunge. Opening up your heart again to the possibility of healing and to receive kindness and beauty. Exhale, bringing your palms down beside your left foot, and then come forward with your right foot into a forward fold. And again, just hugging your elbows here, and then just maybe doing a figure of 8. Maybe bend your knees as you do this. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down to the mat. Inhale, coming up, back up into a full sun salutation. Lifting up with your palms up to the sky. Exhale, bringing the palms down beside you. Just checking in, is your alignment good here? Straightening up with your spine, as though that string is pulling you. Opening up your palms, letting your fingers stretch out as much as possible. You might want to bring your toes in between towards each other here. Inhale, bringing the palms up above you. Exhale, bringing your palms down to the mat. Inhale up towards your shins or maybe your thighs. Just keep your back straight as though there's a drink tray, depending on you. Exhale down to the mat. And now from here, I'd like you to bend your knees and bring your tailbone in. Engage your core as we come into our chair pose. So again, spreading our fingers out wide and just bringing our arms out diagonally in front of us. Checking your tailbones in and your abdomens in, and just bending down with your knees, pressing down through the heels, maybe lifting up with your toes just to make sure that your balance is right here. And now we're going to bring our hands to our heart and then bringing our left elbow to our right thigh, and try and bring your palms towards the center of your heart. And this twist is brilliant for healing and detoxification of the body and the lymph nodes. Just check in here that your knees don't come out of alignment. So pull back with your left knee if you need to. And if you like, bringing your left palm down to the mat and opening up your heart even further, looking up to your right arm. Take 2 more breaths here. Then coming down back into prayer pose. And then slowly, slowly, slowly coming back up into chair pose. And we'll take that to the other side. You may now notice a difference very quickly in how one side feels compared to the other. And from here, I'd like you to take, this time, your right elbow towards your left thigh and look up over your left hand side. And check here again. Naturally, you'll begin to bring your right knee forward, but try and keep them in line with each other, your knees, and bringing your hands to your heart, looking over your left shoulder. And if it's available, bringing your right arm down to the mat and looking up over your left for a really intense twist. Exhale, coming back down to the mat, coming back into chair pose, just briefly here, and then begin to extend your arms out. Exhale, bringing your palms down to the mat here. Just let yourself root down, find your center here, and then hop or jump back into a plank pose. Inhale, bringing your elbows in to meet your ribs. Come down to the mat, take a vinyasa. So bringing your chest down to the mat, pressing up into cobra. Exhale, come back into child's pose. Just take a rest here, a little moment. Your heart should be increasing. Receiving oxygen, receiving energy. And with that, you can begin to heal. See the blood pumping to the areas of your body that might be injured or resistant. And see the breath as light, trying to heal those areas. Exhale, bringing your seat up to the ceiling, tuck the toes under, straighten the legs, and you're in a downward facing dog again. Inhale here, just pedal it out as ever. Bring your seat just up to the ceiling, always checking in, checking that your ears and biceps are in line. And then I would like you to bring your right foot in between your palms, lowering down the left knee now. And we come into a low lunge. And then pressing down into the right foot, slowly, slowly coming up, straightening up your torso. And then bringing your palms up above you, arch the spine back and lifting the chin into a low crescent lunge. Pressing down through those hips, opening up your hips, checking your alignment's right, Just breathing into the tension that your hips may keep inside them. Always arching the spine back. Beautiful. Bringing your palms down to the mat now. And then bringing your hips back towards the back of the room. And straighten out your right leg. Bring your forehead down to your right knee. Lifting up with your right foot to begin to flex your right leg here. And this is called half splits and brilliant for your hamstrings and getting them energized. Take 3 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale once more. Exhale through the mouth. And then just do one final breath. Then bringing your right palm towards your right foot, and then slowly tilting your right foot inward slightly. And here you should feel a nice stretch on the side this time of your leg. Let your head come down to your knees and making sure that your right foot remains flexed. Just breathing in here. And then bringing your left hand over your right leg and putting your right foot out in front of you, and then just look over your right shoulder. And again, this is a different type of stretch in your hamstrings, but one that you should feel nonetheless. And if you can, begin to flex your right foot. Wonderful. Begin to bring your palms either side of your leg just to make sure you're fully supported here. Then bringing your right foot down to the mat, bending your right knee. And now the next bit is to twizzle around your left knee to the back of the room, and then bringing your right leg out diagonally to the side of you. And we're going to take a variation on side plank. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you to do full side plank today, but here, lifting up your right arm over you, looking up towards the right palm. And if you like, maybe bringing your right arm completely over your head. And you should have something like a line, or envisage at least a line coming from your right feet to your right fingertips. And this is a wonderful stretch through the rib cage, through the whole of the side of your body actually. Inhale the breath here. Exhale. 2 more times. Wonderful. Calming back down into tabletop pose. Bring your seat back towards your heels into child's pose. And then we'll take a downward facing dog. This time, bringing your left foot in between your palms, bringing your right knee down to the mat, and stretch down through the hips. Just make sure your alignment is right here. And then I'd like you to lift up with your torso, straightening up, bringing your palms above your head. And we'll take a crescent lunge here. And bend back, arching your spine. Opening up your heart. Stretching through the armpits. Checking in. Is your left knee above your ankle? Are you pressing down through the hips here? Inhale, 2 more breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Palms down to the mat. supporting your left foot, and then begin to push back with your hips towards the back of the room, and then begin to flex your right foot out and bringing your forehead down towards your left knee. Flexing out your left foot here. Then what I'd like you to do is bring your left palm to your left foot and begin to tilt your left foot in slightly. And then bring your forehead down, and you should feel a bit of a stretch on the left hand side of your hamstring here. And then bringing your palms to center, bringing your right arm over your left leg, and then look up over your left shoulder here. Stretching in, you should feel a lovely stretch down your hamstring. Bringing now your right arm over your left leg, and then begin to bend your left knee. And now we're going to do something really similar but on the other side. So I'd like you to twizzle out. That's an actual word. Twizzle your right knee behind you. Have your left leg out to the side here. Then walk your palms over, your right palms over to the side, as we'll take a variation on side plank. So here, bringing your left arm up above you and look up towards your left palm, or if you can, stretching out, palm flat on the mat, your left arm over your head, and envisage a straight line from your left toes to your left fingertips. And don't let your shoulders drop forward here. Just receive the energy and light through your body. Let it go to those places of resistance or of tension. And take another breath. Exhale, beautiful, down to the ground. And now coming in to hero pose. I'm bringing your right shin so that it's facing along the long side of your mat, and then bringing your left foot over your right knee, and then bringing your right arm over your head. Have your right elbow meet your left knee and look out over your left shoulder into a twist. Inhale here for 2 more breaths. And don't worry if you feel a slight crack. It's just your muscles loosening up and repositioning themselves. Inhale, look back to center first. Lift your arm up and then take this to the other side. So bringing this time your left shin alongside the mat. Bring your right leg over your left knee. Just checking that you're aligned here correctly. And then inhale, bringing your left arm over your head so that it meets your right knee. And then look out over your left shoulder. And again, take this as far as you need to. Inhale here. Exhale. Then come back to center. Bring the soles of your feet now together. And let your knees drop out to the side. Give yourself a healing massage. bringing your elbows in to meet your knees. And slowly begin to bend forward, stretching into the hips. If you like, you can bring your elbows to your knees. And just use them to help open up your pelvic area a little bit more. Take a final breath here, and then come up. Bring the knees together, maybe do a windshield type movement. And then we'll take our final resting pose, Shavasana. Coming down onto our mat. Letting our head relax behind us. Let the knees fall out to the side, let the feet fall out to the side. Let your hands come down to the mat and open up to the sky. Breathing in, feeling a white light floating towards any areas of tension and resistance. Noticing how they feel when the breath reaches them, and visualize a white light going into the areas of darkness, and the darkness representing any areas of tension or pain. And just to picture the breath as a white light healing that area. Just sinking into the mat further, into the ground, letting it heal you, letting it relax you. Let gravity do its work. Surrender your body, surrender your mind to the process of healing. Unclench your jaw, unfurrow your brow. Maybe do a little smile if it's possible. Then slowly begin to wiggle your hands, wiggle your feet. Bring your soles of your feet to the mat and let your knees drop out to the side. Pressing your hand into the mat and coming up into a seated easy pose once again. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the palms above you. Bring your hands together and we bow and say Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this healing yoga practice. I really hope you enjoyed how the practice went and that you're feeling better. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my YouTube channel where I do lots more themed yoga classes, and leave me a comment, let me know how you got on. I hope you have a great day and begin to feel better soon. Take care. Love and light.